Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Batwoman Season 1. So this is going to be my finale review slash Season 1 ending, explained, hashtag confirmed, hashtag leaked video. So yeah, if you've not watched it, don't watch if you don't want spoilers, but if you don't watch Batwoman, you just want to know what happened, then I guess continue watching, because this episode, while it was a bit messy, oh boy, did it have some stuff go down. But of course, if you've watched the episode, want to leave your various opinions, or just even if you haven't watched and you just want to leave your opinions, you can do that in the comment section down below. Intrigued to see what you guys have to say, especially about some things that happened right towards the end of the episode and where it could lead into Season 2. Just, yeah, interested to see what you guys have to say about that. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, you just want to show your support, would be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to do that. It takes 2 seconds, and yeah. So really, the main arc of this season has pretty much been the whole Alice thing, but there's also been the, the decline of Jacob Kane in regards to his view towards Batwoman, even though it wasn't really that great towards vigilantes in general. We've really been seeing that storyline about the Crows and Jacob Kane build up, because going into this season I wasn't too sure what the story was going to be until they actually cast Rachel Scarston as Alice, because everyone had been cast. I think she was one of the last ones, and I think many people that were sort of looking at Batwoman were thinking, okay, they're going to do the Crows storyline with Jacob Kane being an antagonist, but they didn't do that, and it just seems like this season was sort of building along to that, and that's going to be something that happens next season. Now, I do think Batwoman did struggle with falling out from Crisis. It probably dealt with it the worst out of any of the shows, to be completely honest. But I think after they got out that first handful of episodes after Crisis, they started building and got stronger and stronger and stronger. But I think Crisis did affect them a bit, because they couldn't do anything ridiculous in the first half because Crisis was coming. But then they sort of struggled to get out of that post-Crisis mode for a few episodes. But in regards to this finale in general, we had an Arkham escapee with swords. He Count Dooku's one of the train passengers. That's the best comparison I can give that people would be able to put in their heads. In whatever it was, episode 3 when Anakin chops off Count Dooku's head like a pair of scissors with 2 lightsabers. That's what he does with the 2 swords. This someone is called Titan. Now, he was a star football player hooked on steroids, and just one day he went crazy and killed a referee on the field. I think they said he mortal combat at someone or something, or fatality, whatever it was. I think they describe it as ripping the spine out, but then they say snapped his neck. But I guess maybe he snapped the neck so hard the spine came out. Pretty gruesome. But we even see this Titan character going after his own brother and taking him down, as his brother was someone that testified against him, so he betrayed him, everything like that. And then along with this, we also find out that the dude that he killed on the train, hashtag Count Dooku, was a football administrator who falsified brain scan reports, which once again was something that led to Titan being what he is right now. And there is a last target, which is his coach, but the coach survived, so lucky him. Now, the episode was actually called Oh Mouse, and I was like, okay, well, what's going to happen with Mouse in this episode? Now, Mouse is not overall on board with what Alice is planning and doing. It's sort of going off what I guess he was expecting, and Alice is just, very determined. You're not really going to cross Alice or change her mind too much. We do have Hush being there, who's more annoyed. He's desperate for a face that he can wear, so he isn't a mummy for the rest of his life, because obviously Tommy Elliot is technically quote-unquote dead, because he was hung in Arkham, but it was actually put on another body. His face was put on another body. The whole face thing this season is, I think it's cool and interesting, but it just opens the door to plot holes, and you can really nitpick certain things in regards to, well, this person's 5'2", but they're impersonating a 6-foot person, and no one's really questioning it and stuff like that. So there's issues around that. So I think if they're going to do face swapping further, they should really do it where it's the people are already similar, but the face swap just makes them 100% that person, because when it comes to height differences and even skin tone on hands and stuff like that, you're going to come across too many plot holes and stuff like that. But I think the face swapping thing was still fairly interesting. And as soon as Tommy Elliot came into the show and they were doing that stuff with Alice, you knew eventually it was probably going to mesh up, and it did in this episode. Now, we did find out that the last bit of kryptonite was actually in Bruce Wayne's possession, which I guess shouldn't surprise anyone in the world. It's just this little shard. So lucky for the Kryptonians, I guess, that there isn't that much. Now, as I was saying before with Jacob and the Crows, he's still up against Batwoman because of what she's been doing, even releasing the Arkham patients and stuff recently. But Mary somewhat convinces Jacob to team up with Batwoman, but you can tell it wouldn't just be a 180 swap straight up there. You're okay, well, what's going to happen here? Something's going to happen here, whether it's in this episode or next episode. So you're just sitting there waiting, going, I don't trust Jacob. I don't think he's going to change his mind. He seems like he's a very stubborn person. So yeah. Now, one of the big okay episodes, I don't think I was oh my god, I'm devastated. But one of the like the big like, oh okay, that's happening in this episode moments was when Alice actually poisons and kills Mouse because of, you know, not going through with their plan and everything, and she wants to do this and go forward and stuff. I thought it was a pretty dramatic scene. I think it was very well acted, especially by Rachel Skarsten. I think she's easily the MVP of the season, even though there has been cases where there's been too much Alice. But I thought she really went really deep in that scene and did a really good job. I've always felt Mouse was an okay character, but I wasn't like, oh, Mouse needs to be there. Like, I think Mouse was just there to do like a little henchman sort of thing. Like I don't want to call it a side piece because that sounds weird, but like a little henchman. But yeah, I thought the scene was good. I wasn't really like devastated that Mouse died because I guess he's a villain, but I thought it was just a really well acted scene. Now we did have like the Batwoman, I guess, final showdown with Titan in the stadium, which wasn't really that big of a showdown. It was just a couple of things and like Kate trying to like turn Titan, and he sort of like, you know, realized these mistakes almost, but then is shot dead by like God knows how many bullets by the crows. And that scene was more important in regards to the turn on Batwoman from Jacob and the crows, which hits Kate deep. She's like, oh, my dad hates me. And it's like, well, he hates Batwoman. Like, I guess if you reveal that you're Batwoman to him, then maybe he might hate you. But at the moment, he just hates Batwoman. He has no idea that you're Batwoman. But obviously, this is going to hit Kate deep. And obviously, I didn't even mention this. Forgot to. But obviously, this is episode 20, but it was meant to be 22 episodes. So they've cut their season short, just like Flash and I guess Supergirl as well. So it would have been interesting to see what would have happened in the next 2 episodes that were planned, whether like Jacob's like thing went raised to like the next level and stuff like that. That would have been intriguing and just interesting to see. But I guess it's that like that I think works as a season ending storyline in regards to that and setting up for next season. But there are some other things in this episode which, okay, it would have been interesting to see them going for the next 2 episodes and what the proper cliffhanger would have been for the, you know, episode 22 or the finale. Now, Kate does reveal to Mary and Luke that she has the piece of kryptonite from Crisis, which to me doesn't make sense, or is it just me? Unless she was given it elsewhere in the post-Crisis timeline, but then they showed it in the beginning of the episode, like the scene from Crisis. Like, I think that's a plot hole. Because really, when like the timeline and like the multiverse was reset, that was just sort of like zapped, I guess, into reality, but has still had memories of pre-Crisis. But it's not like if, you know, the Flash had a Mars bar or something in his pocket, he could just pull it out and eat it. You know, if he had it on like, you know, when they were pre-Crisis and everything like that. So I don't think that makes sense that she'd be able to still have that piece of kryptonite if they're saying that when she got it from Crisis, she kept it. Like if it was in like the, you know, the post-Crisis timeline, just something that we didn't see that Kari gave it to Kate, then fair enough. They might explain that in episode 21. But from what we know now, I think it's a plot hole. If it isn't, let me know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it just caught me off guard because I was like, when I saw that thing in the beginning and they showed the Crisis scene, I was like, hopefully they don't come back to that and use that as like canon, because I don't think that makes sense. Anyway. But we do have like the setup in regards to Jacob next season where he's on the hunt for something stronger than a Desert Eagle, because that's what they shot Batwoman with, and you can see like the slug is like completely, well, compressed from hitting Batwoman and her suit. She should have had like a massive bruise from that, probably, like a really, really deep bruise. But they need something stronger than a Desert Eagle to take down Batwoman. I don't know if it's going to be kryptonite or it's going to be one of those other weapons like the railgun or the, whatever the other thing was called, or like a variant on that throughout the next season. But I guess a lot of the crows are going to have bat suit penetrating bullets and ammo. So watch out, Kate. But one of the big, like, oh my god moments was when we have Alice finishing applying the face to Tommy Elliott. I think we all knew where it was going, but it was just how it played out was really good. I think they've nailed it. And it's the face of Bruce Wayne, obviously. I think we all knew this was going to come. It's obviously the next step in the Hush storyline. They are really compressing Hush's storyline from like multiple different series into like one thing, which I think is smart because it makes it much more interesting. But we have, this is Bruce Wayne. He's played by Warren Christie, and he's a very good looking Bruce Wayne. He looks very Bruce Wayne-esque, like better than some other versions. You could argue like, I don't know, bit of an edgy thing, but better than Robert Pattinson. I think he looks like straight up like a comic Bruce Wayne. When you look at him, you go, okay, I completely believe that you're Bruce Wayne. Now, in regards to next season, obviously he's going to be posing as Bruce Wayne. Now, does this mean that Bruce Wayne is dead, that Alice has his face? No, because Alice crafted this face. Like, she went to the morgue and various things like that. She crafted this face to make it look like Bruce Wayne. So they might even add, like, little things next season where, like, there's a scar on his neck or something like that, where it's, like, dodgy stitching. which might catch someone to realize that it's not the real Bruce Wayne and stuff like that. But next season, I would expect what Tommy is doing here to actually draw out the real Bruce Wayne. I think that's what we're going to see, and it's going to be interesting to see like how long it goes for, because if the real Bruce Wayne does, because the thing is, this is Bruce Wayne, so they've actually, this person's going to be portraying themselves as Bruce Wayne. So if they're allowed to do this, they can bring proper Bruce Wayne in. Like, I don't see where the loophole would be where they can do this but can't do the real one. So you'd have to think the real one's going to be brought in due to this. And I saw a lot of people asking, does that mean Batman? I'd say no. The only way I could see them having Warren Christie in a bat suit is in flashbacks, if they have a reason to do flashbacks. That's the only reason I could see it. I don't see him suiting up in the bat suit present day, just due to like Warner Brothers and DC sort of like strict thing on using Batman and the protective stuff around it. But you never know. Maybe they might be able to use it. We don't know, I have to wait and see. But in regards to the season 2 stories, obviously that, you know, Tommy as Bruce Wayne thing is going to be playing out fairly early on. There's still the thing about the whole kryptonite thing, and then of course there's still the thing with Jacob. You'd have to think that Jacob and the Crows are like the consistent antagonist throughout the entire season, almost similar to Alice from this season. But then we have Alice still next season, so it would have been interesting to see how they tied up her, or how they finished her story for this season leading into next season, because they'd be silly to get rid of her, because Rachel Skarsten just does such a good job on it. But they do have to be careful that they don't ruin the character like we saw with like Malcolm Merlyn and Arrow, where he was really good, even like the first 3 seasons it was there. Then they used him too much, and like there's only like a small grey area. It's a lot of black and white. There's only a small grey area before you go over to like just overuse and you sort of ruin the character. But yeah, in regards to my overall thoughts for Batwoman Season 1, I think it's the show that's improved the most in the back half of a season that I can remember in regards to DC TV since Legends of Tomorrow Season 1. That show transformed itself in the back half once they knew what the show was. And I think Batwoman did that. As I said, Crisis, I think, sort of affected it. This is the first season of a show and they had to deal with a multiversal changing, like, universe game-changing event. And it sort of made them stutter a bit in the first half, as well as like just heading into the back half. But I think they got stronger and stronger and stronger as the season went on, even though I'm not saying like each episode was better than the last, but I think just building like this world and city and with these characters just improved episode by episode. So I think it ended off really, really strong. I'm excited to see what they do next season with what they've set up, even though this wasn't meant to be the proper finale, but it felt like a finale for the most part, outside of the Titan stuff. The Titan stuff didn't feel very finale-esque, but allowed some certain things to happen, I guess. But yeah, I enjoyed Batwoman Season 1 pretty damn well. Honestly, I'd give Season 1 about a 7.5 out of 10. I can't give it higher than that because it did have issues in the first half and just heading out of Crisis. But overall, a solid first season. I can't wait to see what they do in Season 2. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like and it shows support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on this quote-unquote finale, what was set up, as well as just Season 1 as a whole. What would you give Season 1 of Batwoman as a whole, you know, out of 10, I guess? And just what were your thoughts on the finale, and what do you want to see in Season 2 as well? Let me know all of your various opinions, thoughts, theories, any of that in the comments. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.